So y'all love that tax video, so you know I have to come back with a two-peat. In this video, we are going to talk about all things you need to know with taxes yet again, but this time we are going to target taxes and some tax tips for low income. Taxes if you have kids. I'm going to be answering a lot of questions that I got from my last tax video, like do you have to even file your taxes if you made no money, and why it's a bad idea to not file your taxes. Even if you made $0, you should always file, right? I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, exactly what that is, how you can be eligible, and you can get actually up to $6,000 from that. I'll also give you guys some tips on getting free tax preparers, or when should you actually enlist help. You know, some people want to file it on their own and they don't know if they should or not, so I'll talk about that. So you'll definitely want to stick around for all that and more. Make sure you keep it locked. It's Crystal with the Cash Compass. All right, welcome back. I am here to teach you all the things that you should have learned in school about money, but for whatever reason, they forgot to mention it. If you love all things personal finance, investing, economics, apparently taxes, you'll definitely want to subscribe. Just hit it down there. It is free. Hit the bell too so you can get notified every time I upload. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I got a little bit of something for everybody, okay? If you guys are students and looking for some tax credits for students, click this video up here. I went into great detail about that, and I don't want to kind of repeat that information because it's pretty much the same thing. So definitely click that video. Also, in my other video, I go over the recovery rebate credit, which is the credit for people who did not get their stimulus or who got the wrong amount for their stimulus, in this video up here. So you'll definitely want to click that too to get that information, because I'm not going to repeat anything. This is going to be some brand spanking new info. All right, one question that I kind of got a lot regarding the recovery rebate credit or the sick pay, which again I got talked about in the last video that I mentioned. Do I need to show proof of these things, right? Because a lot of people want to know, like, do I have to prove that I paid charity $300? Do I have to prove that I was sick and I didn't get any money? In short, the answer is no, right? Your tax preparer may ask you for it, but if you're the one filing your own taxes for yourself, technically you could put whatever you want in there, right? The problem is when you get audited, because the way the IRS works is kind of like a faith-based system. So they're not going to actually require you to submit any proof. But baby, if you get audited, you best believe you better have that, okay? So the answer is yes or no. You don't necessarily have to have it in order to file your taxes. You can file your taxes regardless. You can make up a whole lie in there, right? I'm definitely not encouraging you to do that. But if you get audited, they are super picky. I think they audit about something like 1% of tax filers, and a lot of times they do target super high income earners, so your chances of getting audited are pretty slim, but you do not want to take any chances. You don't want to play with the IRS, because even if you're right, if they say you're wrong, right? So we just want to stay out of their way. Another popular question that I got in my other video was, do you need to make any income to file your taxes, or should you file your taxes even if you did not make any income for the year? Yes, okay, you definitely want to make sure that you're filing your taxes, even if you feel like you only made a little bit of money, right? Because we have what they call a standard deduction. So it reduces your taxable income by that amount. So let's say you made just $10,000 this year. You might feel like, oh, I don't want to file. I didn't make that much money. But you are leaving money on the table, because if you made $10,000 for the whole year, you don't have to pay any federal income taxes. So you need to make sure you get your money back, okay? Also, even if you made $0, you could still get money back. There are refundable credits. I went into great detail about what credits were in my last video about taxes, so definitely check that out. But if you have a refundable credit that you are eligible for, you get money back regardless. You don't have to make $1, but you can still get some dollars back, because those credits are refundable, which means even if your tax liability is $0, you can still get money from those tax credits. So you don't want to miss out on any of those things. I'll definitely tell you to look into that if you are a student, if you have a kid. There are a couple of different tax credits that are refundable that you might be eligible for. So do not leave that money on the table, okay? The government takes enough of our money. Get some of it back. Also, should you file your own taxes? If you are just a W-2 employee, so you don't have any other assets, it's literally, I just got my W-2 and I want to get my money back, then it might make more sense for you to do it yourself. With websites like TurboTax, they literally walk you through the entire process. It does not require a lot. I filed my own taxes even before I became like a CPA, because for the most part, I was just a W-2 employee. Now, if you have rental properties, if you have stocks, if you have any type of investment, it might make sense to still watch these videos to get a general understanding. But people who live, breathe, eat, sleep the tax code could probably get you some tax credits that you are not aware of. And certain sites like TurboTax are super helpful, but you know, they might miss something, okay? So you want to make sure that you have general information, but it might make sense to actually enlist the help of somebody. There is a tax preparing kind of organization. They don't only do taxes, but it's called VITA, VITA. I actually volunteered to prepare taxes when I was in college for them, so I know it's legitimate. And it's for people who have low income. If you don't really want to mess with TurboTax, maybe you're like, but you also don't want to pay anybody, then VITA is a great solution for you because they will file the taxes for you. They don't charge any money, okay? So definitely check that out in your area. See if you can kind of go up to a place, or I don't know if they're doing virtual things right now. I have no clue. I'll probably drop it in the description, so check that out. All right, let's talk about distributions from your 401k or your IRA. Due to COVID, there are some changes that have happened in the 2020 tax year. So those are for your taxes that are due in April of 2021, right? We're filing for the 2020 tax year. There are certain benefits, right? So if you pulled money out of your 401k or your IRA this year due to coronavirus, there's a couple of different qualifications, and I'll put links in the description. But if you took out any money because of that, you should not be paying 10% penalty fee if you are under the age, right? So no tax or no penalties and no taxes. There is a caveat. If you are going to pull money out, you still technically have to pay the tax, but it's going to be across 3 years. So let's say you took out, I don't know, $6,000, okay? For the next 3 years, you'll have to report $2,000 as income, okay? But on that third year, you could be like, listen, if you paid the money back, so if you took out the $6,000 from your 401k or your IRA, and you put that money back in there within a 3-year period, on that third year, you could say, excuse me, yeah, I'm gonna need my money back because I followed the directions, right? So you have to pay it back within 3 years. And if you do that, you should not owe any taxes on that money, and you should be able to get that money refunded to you in the third year. So it sucks, you still kind of have to pay it, but at least you get it back. Like I said, there is going to be a link in the description so you can see what qualifies as an eligible withdrawal. It can't just be like, like if your income didn't change, if you didn't have any kids to take care of, if nothing closed down, nothing really bad happened to you due to Corona, you're not eligible for this. But, it's pretty flexible. You could probably try to figure out something that makes you eligible. The Earned Income Tax Credit. What is the Earned Income Tax Credit, okay? Or EITC, depending on kind of how you've been introduced to it. But this is basically a credit that is supposed to help low to moderate income households, because we all already tired of paying taxes, okay? It's bad enough we got to pay taxes, all right? I don't want to pay that much. And the IRS, I guess sometimes they try to give you a little bit of a break. So that's what this credit does. Like I mentioned earlier, it is refundable. So even if you did not make any money, well, actually for the Earned Income Tax Credit, you do have to make at least $1. But even if you made a little bit of money and you don't really owe any taxes, if you get like the max for this, for example, is $6,600. So if you're eligible for that entire $6,600, you will get that money back regardless of if you earned a whole bunch of money or not. If you have kids, then that makes the Earned Income Tax Credit even more lucrative because them kids... What's nice about this year is that you can actually use your 2019 income also, right? So like, let's say maybe your 2019 income would actually give you a higher EITC, a higher credit, then you can use that. So if you are having your taxes prepared by somebody else, be sure to tell them to try to calculate it both ways so you can see how you can get the most money out of this credit. Sounds too good to be true. There always has to be some sort of catch, right? The catch with this one is, firstly, you cannot be a dependent on anybody's taxes. So if your parents can claim you or if anybody else can claim you, you are not eligible, unfortunately. Another caveat here is that, unfortunately, for whatever reason, if you get the Earned Income Tax Credit, they will delay your refund. So I don't know what the reason is behind that. That's what they said. So you will definitely not get your refund until sometime in March, because they literally cannot do anything until February as far as processing these. Okay, so you'll want to kind of plan for that. Hopefully you're not depending on this money to pay any bills or anything like that. But if you're okay with that, if you're eligible, and I'll put a chart actually right here. So you can see what the income limits are, okay? So if you earn under this amount, you have a maximum amount that you're actually eligible for. So take your time and look through this and see if you are eligible. If you want to just make double, triple, quadruple sure that you're eligible, there is a link in my description that will literally, you answer a couple of questions. It takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to complete, and then they will literally let you know if you're eligible or not. So it takes all the guesswork out of it if you don't want to calculate anything, okay? So click that link in my description. What about my savers out there, right? Because even if you are making low to moderate income, what if you've been doing the right thing and you have been putting money aside? You deserve a credit, okay? One thing that is nice about 401ks and IRAs, if you know me, I'm not super in love with the idea of a 401k. I don't want to clog up this video with that information. If you're interested in why I don't like 401ks, click the video up here and that'll give you everything you need to know. But at any rate, what is nice about it, if you have a 401k that does matching, that's one perk. And you can actually reduce, depending on which 401k you have, it can actually reduce your taxable income, right? So it makes your taxable income look even less. But on top of that, they also have a credit. It's called the Savers Credit. So make sure you tell your tax preparer about this also. And this incentivizes people who have put money into a 401k or into an IRA. It gives you a little bit of a credit back, okay? If you are single and made more than $23,000 and you are not eligible for this, if you are married and your household made more than $65,000, you are not eligible for this. But if this sounds like something that you are eligible for, again, link in my description. Take a shot every time I say that. But again, another chart, gonna pop it right here, and that will tell you what you're eligible for and up to how much you can get based on your certain income levels. This is for up to $1,000. So that's good money to me. All right, I hope that helped. If you guys take anything away from this video, I want you to listen to this. Taxes is an incentive-based system. It is not to punish you, it's to incentivize you. That is why these people who create businesses and, these higher ups, they learn the tax code. They do what they can so they can get certain tax credits that they want to be eligible for, okay? So you want to take a very active role, kind of around the year, right? Making sure that you're doing the right thing so you can get certain tax benefits. It's an incentive-based system. So if you want to get out of the rat race, and if you are tired of working this 9-to-5 job, you feel like you can never make ends meet, having a business is the most lucrative way to really take advantage of the tax system, and really grow your wealth. So I definitely urge you guys to try to get out there, have your own businesses, and then learn what incentives, like the government tells you what they want to do through these tax credits. So learn the system, open up your own business, and take advantage of these credits, because that is exactly what is going to separate you, from the average. There's the average people, and then there's the above average people who learn these things, take advantage of it, and make it worth their while. So I want that to be you, and of course I want it to be me as well. But that will do it. If you like this video, then please be sure to like this video and share it with everybody, not just your friends, because we all need to learn this information. And if you have anything else going on, you know what to do. Go ahead and binge watch me. And until next time, keep your money up.